Hello and welcome to the Global Institute of Sport. In this video, we will explore academic misconduct. So what is academic misconduct? Academic misconduct is viewed as any action by a student which gives or has the potential to give an unfair advantage in an examination or assessment, or might assist someone else to gain an unfair advantage, or any activity likely to undermine the integrity essential to scholarship and research. This includes academic poor practice, work produced which is poorly referenced or incorrectly referenced, resulting from misunderstanding or lack of confidence using academic conventions. Plagiarism, presenting someone else's work or ideas as your own without proper acknowledgement. Self-plagiarism, when work that has already been submitted for assessment either to the university or another institution and is then used again in another assessment. Collusion, unauthorized collaboration with others on an assignment that is meant to be completed individually. Commissioning, paying or asking someone else to complete your academic work on your behalf. Generative AI, the use of generative artificial intelligence tools to gain an unfair advantage, such as ChatGPT, Bing Char, or DALL-E, to produce content that is then submitted as your own original work. Suspected academic misconduct. If a tutor suspects academic misconduct has taken place, they will refer the work to the responsible officer, who will determine whether or not it appears that academic misconduct has occurred, by reviewing the reported circumstances and any relevant materials, including suspected source materials, within 10 working days. If the responsible officer does not find evidence that misconduct may have occurred, the work will be marked as normal. If academic misconduct is found to have occurred, the student will be referred to the academic misconduct panel, who will assess the seriousness of the academic misconduct and determine any sanctions to be imposed. Appealing academic misconduct. Students may appeal the academic misconduct panel's decision if you have new, important evidence that you couldn't provide before for a valid reason. The procedures weren't followed correctly, which might have affected the outcome. There's proof of bias from the panel members or their clerk. The penalty given was harsher than what the panel was allowed to impose. However, an appeal isn't a chance to re-argue your case. It's a review of whether the original process was fair and properly conducted, and whether the decision made was reasonable based on the evidence. New evidence can only be presented at an appeal if there's a good reason it wasn't shared earlier and if it could have changed the original decision. You must include this explanation when submitting your appeal. If you want to appeal, you need to submit a written notice explaining your grounds for appeal to within 20 working days of being informed of the panel's decision. How to avoid academic misconduct. Here are some useful tips on how you can avoid academic misconduct. Plan ahead. Academic tutors are often able to provide information about the timeline of assessments early on in the semester, allowing time to adequately prepare for each assignment. Keep a note of your references as you go. Make sure that you have a system to identify which words are your own and which are taken from another source. Allow enough time for your bibliography. Referencing can be time-consuming if being completed at the end of the writing process. Try to access original sources. Wider reading can back up your points and contribute to original thought. Paraphrase using your own words. Changing some words or rearranging sentences can still be picked up by Turnitin or markers of the work. Use exemplars as tools, not lifelines. Always ensure that you are using your own research and ideas in your assignment. Discussing work with classmates. This is perfectly acceptable. However, individual assessments should be written on your own. This can lead to concerns of collusion if working closely with others. Be careful when seeking a second opinion. If there is evidence to suggest that a colleague or peer helped you with this assessment, you may find that you are investigated for collusion. Seek help and guidance if you're unsure. Speak to a tutor if you don't understand the topic or question, and utilize academic referencing resources on GIS Central. And finally, use Turnitin. Using the Originality Report feature allows you to compare your work to thousands of other sources such as websites, Wikipedia, and even other student papers. Anything in your work that identically matches another source is highlighted for you to see. When you use this feature before the deadline, you will have time to revise your work to avoid an instance of academic breach or plagiarism. By following the guidelines, you can maintain academic integrity and ensure your work truly reflects your abilities. And remember, if you're ever unsure about what counts as misconduct or need support with your studies, there are plenty of resources available to help you. To get the most out of your online learning, we have created a number of onboarding support videos to help you access and navigate our systems and platform. We look forward to welcoming you to the Global Institute of Sports.